Have you ever wondered why some younger women seem naturally drawn to older men, while other men their age struggle to get the same attention? You see it all the time. A woman in her 20s laughing with a man 15 or 20 years older. She listens to him closely. She looks relaxed around him. She seems curious about him. Many men assume it's about money, status, or security. But that explanation is far too shallow. Attraction, especially in the modern dating world, runs much deeper than that. Women today are more independent than ever. They earn their own money. They make their own choices. And because of that, when a woman becomes interested in an older man, there is usually a psychological reason behind it. Something about him stands out. His calm presence, his emotional stability, his ability to lead a conversation without trying too hard, his sense that life has already tested him, and he handled it. But here is what most men never realize. When a woman begins to feel that attraction toward an older man, she rarely expresses it directly. Women are far more subtle than that. Instead, she observes, she studies him, and very often she tests him, not with obvious questions, not with interviews, with two very specific emotional tests that almost every man encounters without even realizing it. These tests happen naturally during conversation. They may appear playful, they may sound casual, sometimes they even feel like harmless curiosity. But underneath those questions, something important is happening. She is trying to answer two critical things in her mind. First, she wants to know if this man truly carries the maturity that comes with age, or if he only carries the number. Second, she wants to see if he has the confidence to stand in his masculine frame without seeking her approval. And here is where many men make mistakes. Some men become defensive. Some start over-explaining themselves. Some try too hard to impress her. The moment that happens, the attraction begins to fade. Because when a woman desires an older man, she is not searching for someone who needs validation. She is searching for someone who already knows who he is. A man who doesn't panic when she challenges him. A man who stays calm, grounded, and slightly unpredictable. In today's video, we are going to break this down in a way most men have never heard before. You're going to understand the two questions women often use to test older men, and the subtle mistakes that instantly destroy attraction when those questions appear. More importantly, you will learn how confident men naturally handle these moments without forcing anything. And once you understand this dynamic, you will start noticing these tests everywhere. One, why aren't you with someone your age? Sooner or later, a woman who is curious about an older man will ask something that sounds simple on the surface. She might smile and say, "So, why aren't you dating someone your age?" Sometimes she'll phrase it differently. "Don't women your age get tired of you? Why are you interested in younger women? Shouldn't you be settled down already?" To many men, this question feels like an accusation. The moment they hear it, they feel the urge to defend themselves. That's the first mistake. The question isn't an attack. It's a test of emotional strength. She's watching how you respond under pressure. She wants to see if you become uncomfortable, defensive, or eager to explain your life choices. A man who immediately begins explaining himself sends a quiet message. He needs her approval. That's not attractive. The truth is, confident older men don't feel the need to justify their lives. They understand that their life story is theirs alone. When she asks this question, she's really trying to measure three things. First, your confidence. Do you stand comfortably in your own choices, or do you panic when someone questions them? Second, your emotional maturity. Older men are supposed to carry experience. She wants to see if you react like a calm adult, or like a boy who feels judged. Third, your self-respect. Men who constantly explain themselves appear unsure. Men who respond with calm clarity appear grounded. Let's look at how many men fail this test. A man hears the question and starts talking rapidly. "Well, relationships are complicated. I dated women my age before, but they had issues. And honestly, younger women are easier to deal with and—" Now he's rambling. The energy shifts. The conversation loses its spark. She doesn't feel intrigued anymore. She feels like she's interviewing someone. But a confident man handles this moment very differently. He stays relaxed. He might smile slightly and say something simple. Life works in interesting ways. Or, I meet people I enjoy spending time with. Age doesn't really decide that. Short, calm, unbothered. Notice something important here. He didn't defend himself. He didn't argue. He didn't start proving anything. And that calm response quietly communicates something powerful. This man is comfortable with himself. Women notice that immediately. When a younger woman feels drawn to an older man, she's often searching for emotional steadiness. Many men her age react quickly, get defensive easily, or chase validation. An older man who stays relaxed under questioning feels different. He feels solid. He feels experienced. He feels safe. Another powerful response is humor. A confident man might grin and say, "Maybe women my age are tired of competing with my charm." Then he laughs and changes the subject. That playful confidence breaks the tension and keeps the energy light. Here's the deeper psychology. Women are naturally attracted to men who handle pressure with calm control. It signals leadership. It signals emotional stability. When she asks why you aren't with someone your age, she's creating a tiny moment of pressure. Your reaction tells her everything she needs to know. Do you crumble? Or do you remain the same relaxed man she was curious about a moment earlier? Pass this test and her curiosity grows. Fail it, and the attraction quietly fades. 2. What do you actually want? At some point, if a woman is truly intrigued by an older man, the conversation shifts. The playful teasing slows down, and she asks something that feels more direct. So, what do you actually want? Sometimes she says it in another way. What are you looking for? Are you trying to settle down? What kind of woman do you like? Many men think this question is simply curiosity. It isn't. It's another test. She is trying to measure how clear you are about your life and your direction. Women who feel attracted to older men often assume one thing, that he knows what he wants. Age suggests experience. Experience suggests clarity. When a man hesitates too much here, something inside her pauses. She begins to wonder if the maturity she sensed earlier was real. This is where many men make the second major mistake. They start trying to give the perfect answer. They say things they think will impress her. I'm looking for a loyal woman who cooks, supports me, respects me, understands me. Suddenly, it sounds like a long checklist. The conversation becomes heavy. The energy drops. Attraction rarely grows through long explanations. It grows through presence, confidence, and clarity. A man who knows himself doesn't need to deliver a speech about relationships. He can answer simply. A confident older man might say something like, "I enjoy meeting interesting people and seeing where things go." Or he might say, "I like good energy, good conversation, and someone who enjoys life." Simple, clear, relaxed. Notice something important again. He didn't rush to define the entire future. He didn't pressure the moment. He stayed calm and grounded. This signals something powerful to her mind. This man has options. He isn't desperate to lock something down immediately. Women are extremely sensitive to desperation. The moment a man appears overly eager to secure commitment, the emotional tension disappears. But when a man seems comfortable letting things develop naturally, curiosity increases. She begins wondering what it would take to become special to him. Another mistake men make is trying to sound overly serious too quickly. Imagine she asks the question and he replies, "Honestly, I'm looking for my future wife. I want something serious immediately." Now the interaction feels intense. She barely knows him yet. Pressure replaces curiosity. Confident men understand pacing. They allow connection to grow naturally. They focus on enjoying the interaction rather than controlling the outcome. A powerful response often includes a small question back to her. For example, he might say, "I like meeting good people and seeing where the connection goes. What about you?" Now the energy flows both ways. She begins sharing. The conversation becomes balanced. Here's the deeper psychology behind this test. Women often assume older men have stronger direction in life. She wants to confirm that belief. She's looking for signs of emotional stability, not a rehearsed relationship speech. A man who answers calmly shows he is comfortable with his life. He isn't chasing validation. He isn't rushing outcomes. That calm clarity is exactly what makes older men attractive in the first place. When you respond with simple confidence, her respect grows quietly, and when respect grows, attraction usually follows close behind. 3. Stay unshaken. There is another moment that reveals a lot about a man, and it usually appears when the conversation becomes slightly challenging. A woman who feels curious about an older man may suddenly disagree with him, tease him, or lightly challenge something he said. She might say, "You sound very confident for someone your age," or "Are you sure you can keep up with someone younger?" Sometimes it's even more playful. "You older men think you know everything." Many men misread this moment completely. They take the comment personally. They try to prove themselves. They begin defending their strength, their experience, or their lifestyle. The moment they start proving themselves, the balance changes. She is no longer observing a calm, grounded man. She is now watching a man trying to win approval. That shift weakens attraction. When a woman challenges an older man like this, she's not trying to insult him. She's watching his emotional control. A man with real-life experience has already faced pressure, criticism, and disagreement many times before. He doesn't react quickly. He doesn't get tense. He doesn't rush to correct every comment. He stays steady. That steadiness is magnetic. Imagine she says, "Are you sure you can keep up with someone younger?" An insecure man might jump into a long explanation about how active he is, how he goes to the gym, how he travels, how he still has energy. The conversation suddenly becomes a performance. A confident man responds differently. He might smile slightly and say, "You might be surprised." Then he continues the conversation like nothing happened. Calm, light, unbothered. That kind of response communicates quiet strength. He doesn't need to argue. He doesn't need to compete with her words. Another common test appears through playful teasing. She may say something like, "You older men probably go to bed early." If he reacts defensively, the interaction becomes awkward. But if he laughs and says, "Only when the company is boring," the energy stays fun. Humor works well here because it shows emotional comfort. Men who are secure in themselves can laugh easily. They don't feel threatened by a few teasing comments. Women notice this immediately. Younger men often react quickly to challenges. They want to win every point in the conversation. Older men who carry confidence know something important. Not every comment requires a reaction. Silence, a smile, or a relaxed answer often carries more strength than a long explanation. This is what many women are unconsciously searching for when they feel drawn to an older man. They want to feel a difference in his presence, a calm mind, a steady emotional rhythm, someone who doesn't lose control of his energy when the conversation shifts. Think about it from her perspective. If a man becomes uncomfortable from a simple teasing comment, how will he react when life becomes stressful? Women pay attention to these small signals. Every reaction reveals something about your inner stability. So, when she throws a playful challenge your way, remember this simple rule. Stay relaxed. No tension, no overreaction. A confident smile and a calm reply often say more than a long defense ever could. And in that moment, her curiosity about you grows even stronger. 4. Do not chase. One of the most revealing tests happens when a woman suddenly pulls back a little. The conversation was flowing well. She seemed interested. She laughed at your jokes. And then something changes. She becomes slightly quieter. Her replies get shorter. Sometimes she takes longer to respond to messages. Many men panic the moment this happens. They feel the connection slipping away, so they rush to fix it. They send extra messages. They ask if everything is okay. They try harder to entertain her. That reaction destroys the calm confidence that attracted her in the first place. When a woman is drawn to an older man, she often expects emotional stability. She expects patience. She expects a man who is comfortable with space. Pulling back slightly is one way she observes how you handle distance. It reveals whether you remain grounded or become anxious. Men who immediately start chasing create pressure. The interaction begins to feel heavy. Instead of enjoying the connection, she now feels responsible for maintaining his emotional comfort. That rarely feels attractive. Confident men understand something simple. Interest grows when space exists. When a woman pulls back slightly, the best reaction is calm patience. Continue living your life. Continue your routine. Do not flood her phone with attention. Silence can feel uncomfortable for men who fear losing the connection, but silence can also create curiosity. When a man remains steady and relaxed, the energy changes. Instead of feeling chased, she begins to wonder what he is doing. She notices that he isn't desperate for her attention. That quiet independence is powerful. Many younger men make the mistake of reacting immediately to every change in communication. They text constantly. They check in repeatedly. They look for reassurance. An older man with real confidence doesn't do this. He respects the rhythm of life. He understands that attraction grows through balance. If she takes time to respond, he continues his day. If the conversation pauses, he allows it to breathe. This behavior communicates something important. His life is full. His happiness does not depend on constant interaction. Women feel this difference clearly. When a man remains calm during moments of distance, he appears emotionally strong. Emotional strength often feels more attractive than constant attention. That doesn't mean ignoring her completely or playing games. It simply means maintaining your own rhythm. When you do reach out again, keep the energy light. No tension, no accusations, just a relaxed continuation of the connection. For example, after some time passes, you might simply say, "Hope your week is going well." Short, easy, natural. If she is interested, the conversation will open again. If she is testing your patience, she will see that you handled the moment with maturity. Either way, you protected your dignity and your calm energy. Attraction rarely grows from chasing. It grows from presence, patience, and confidence. When she senses that you are not easily shaken by temporary distance, her respect quietly increases. And respect often becomes the foundation where deeper attraction begins. 5. Mystery matters. Another quiet test appears when a woman starts asking deeper questions about your life. She may ask about your past relationships, your career, your experiences, or even mistakes you've made along the way. Curiosity is natural when someone feels attracted. She wants to understand the man in front of her, but this moment can also reveal something important about you: your ability to keep a sense of mystery. Many men make the mistake of revealing everything too quickly. The moment she asks a question, they begin telling their entire life story. Every detail, every past relationship, every challenge they faced. The conversation turns into a long explanation. The problem with this approach is simple. When everything is revealed too fast, the intrigue disappears. Attraction often grows through gradual discovery. A confident older man understands that mystery is powerful. He answers questions honestly, but he doesn't unload his entire history in one conversation. He shares pieces, not the whole puzzle. For example, if she asks, "What happened in your last relationship?" An insecure man might launch into a long emotional explanation about arguments, problems, and how things fell apart. Now the energy becomes heavy. It starts to feel like a therapy session instead of a fun connection. A grounded man handles it differently. He might say, "We had a good chapter, but eventually we wanted different things." Then he shifts the conversation forward. Short, calm, no bitterness. That response communicates emotional maturity. It shows he processed the experience and moved forward. Women pay attention to this. When a man speaks about the past with calm perspective, it signals growth. Another way mystery works is through selective storytelling. If she asks about your life experiences, share stories that reveal character rather than endless detail. Maybe a travel story, maybe a challenge you overcame, something that shows depth without revealing everything at once. The goal is not to hide who you are. The goal is to let discovery happen naturally over time. Think about how curiosity works in the human mind. When people sense there is more to learn about someone, they become more interested. They want to ask more questions. They want to spend more time around that person. When everything is explained immediately, that curiosity fades. Another mistake men make is trying too hard to impress with achievements. They list accomplishments, money, status, or connections. It sounds like bragging. Confidence rarely needs loud proof. A calm man lets his actions and presence speak for him. Women often feel more drawn to a man who reveals himself slowly than a man who tries to impress immediately. Mystery keeps the interaction alive. It creates space for imagination. It allows her to gradually discover different layers of your personality. This process makes the connection feel more exciting. Older men naturally carry more life experience. That can be attractive when it's shared with quiet confidence. You don't need to display everything at once. Give her enough to stay curious. Let each conversation uncover something new. When mystery remains, interest continues growing. And when interest grows steadily, attraction becomes much stronger over time. 6. Lead calmly. Another subtle test appears in the way a woman observes your ability to lead simple moments. It rarely looks dramatic. It often happens during small decisions. Where to go, what to do next, when to meet. These moments may seem ordinary, but they reveal something important about a man's confidence. When a woman feels attracted to an older man, she often expects a certain level of direction. Not control, not arrogance, just calm leadership. Many men misunderstand this and become overly passive. They ask endless questions. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Whatever you like is fine with me. At first, this may seem polite, but too much passivity creates a problem. The interaction begins to feel uncertain. She starts carrying the responsibility of making every decision. Over time, that removes the sense of masculine presence she expected from an older man. Leadership in dating doesn't mean dominating every situation. It simply means being comfortable making small choices. For example, if you're planning to meet, instead of asking 10 questions, you might say, "There's a great place I know downtown. Let's meet there around 7. Clear, simple, relaxed. If she prefers something different, she will say so. But the fact that you suggested a plan shows confidence. Women often notice this more than men realize. Many younger men hesitate constantly because they fear making the wrong choice. They seek approval before every step. An older man who calmly suggests plans feels refreshing. He removes the stress of endless decisions. Another place this test appears is during conversation itself. Sometimes the discussion slows down. Silence appears. Insecure men rush to fill every quiet moment. They talk quickly, change topics repeatedly, or start asking random questions. A confident man stays comfortable even when the conversation pauses. Silence doesn't threaten him. He can smile, observe the moment, and naturally introduce a new topic without urgency. That calm rhythm makes the interaction feel relaxed rather than forced. Leadership also appears in emotional tone. If a situation becomes slightly awkward or confusing, a grounded man keeps the energy light. Maybe a small joke, maybe a simple comment that resets the mood. He doesn't let tension grow. Women often feel safer around men who manage emotional atmosphere well. It shows maturity and awareness. One mistake some men make is confusing leadership with dominance. They try too hard to appear powerful. They interrupt, control conversations, or dismiss her opinions. That behavior creates distance quickly. Calm leadership feels very different. It includes listening. It includes respect, but it also includes direction when needed. Think of it as quiet guidance rather than control. When a woman senses that you can lead small moments naturally, something shifts in her perception. She begins to relax more. She doesn't feel like she must manage everything herself. Instead, she can simply enjoy the interaction. This dynamic often creates stronger attraction because it brings balance. She feels your presence without feeling pressure. Older men often succeed here because life experience teaches them patience and clarity. When you guide moments calmly, without force or hesitation, you show the kind of stability many women are searching for. 7. Protect your standards. The final test many men overlook has nothing to do with what a woman asks. It appears in how she behaves. A woman who feels drawn to an older man often wants to see one thing very clearly. Does this man have standards, or will he accept anything just to keep her around? This moment can appear in small ways. Maybe she cancels plans at the last minute without much explanation. Maybe she shows up late repeatedly. Maybe she makes a dismissive comment to see how you react. These moments are not always intentional, but they reveal something important. She is observing how much respect you have for yourself. Many men fail this test because they fear losing the connection. Instead of addressing the behavior calmly, they ignore it. They accept anything just to keep the interaction going. Over time, that sends a quiet message. This man will tolerate poor treatment if it means keeping my attention. Once that message is established, respect begins to fade. And when respect fades, attraction rarely survives. Confident older men understand something simple. Standards create respect. When you value your own time and energy, people feel it. They sense that being around you requires mutual respect. That doesn't mean reacting with anger or criticism. It simply means calmly acknowledging what matters to you. For example, if she cancels plans repeatedly, a grounded response might sound like this: I enjoy spending time together, but I value reliability. Let's plan another time when it works better. Calm, direct, no hostility, no begging. That response shows you notice the behavior and you respect your own time. Women often pay close attention to this. Many people assume younger women want men who tolerate everything. The truth is often the opposite. A man who protects his standards feels strong. He shows that his life has structure and self-respect. That quality can be deeply attractive. Another place this test appears is in attention. Some women naturally receive a lot of attention from men. They are used to people constantly trying to impress them. When an older man stays relaxed and doesn't compete for attention, it stands out. He listens. He engages. But he doesn't chase validation. If she behaves in a way that crosses a line, he addresses it calmly or simply steps back. That quiet strength sends a powerful signal. His interest is real, but his dignity is stronger than his desire for approval. Women often respect this more than men realize. Standards are not about controlling another person. They are about knowing what you accept and what you don't. When a woman sees that you carry yourself with that clarity, she begins to understand something important. This man values himself. And when a man values himself, people around him often do the same. Attraction built on respect tends to last much longer than attraction built on constant approval. Protecting your standards quietly communicates maturity, discipline, and self-awareness. These are the qualities many women associate with a truly confident older man. And when she recognizes those qualities in you, her curiosity often turns into genuine admiration. When a woman feels drawn to an older man, she rarely announces it directly. She observes. She asks questions. She watches how you react in small moments. The way you handle pressure, distance, curiosity, and respect tells her everything. Men who remain calm, clear, and grounded naturally stand out. No need to chase approval. No need to over-explain your life. Confidence shows through steady behavior and simple words. When you carry yourself with patience, mystery, leadership, and strong standards, something powerful happens. Her curiosity grows, her respect deepens. And once respect and curiosity combine, attraction often follows in a very natural way.